All right, everyone, and welcome to tonight's coverage around three of the Xtreme Iracing series from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And before we get going here tonight, as qualifying's underway, I want to formally welcome our brand new partner here to Xtreme Sim TV. Welcome Grid Finder as your channel partner here. And folks, don't forget Grid Finder, the easiest way to find online sim racing leagues for iRacing, a set of course competition on the F1 2020, R Factor 2, and many more racing sims and games alike. You can find leagues in the UK, US, Europe, Australia, and much more. Head over to gridfinder.com where you will find ourselves and other leagues as well. And I'll tell you what, it should be a lot of fun. And alternatively, if you have a league or a community yourself, or you're watching this, get yourself over there and get signed up on Grid Finder, and they will get you on there quick as possible. Grid Finder, again, the easiest place to find your league and or promote your league alongside over the other 1,000 currently registered leagues on Grid Finder. The only place to find your league, gridfinder.com. So head over to Grid Finder there and get that looked at to find your leagues that you would want to be a part of in these communities. A great thing. I'm also over there. You can contact me on Grid Finder. Xtreme Sim TV is on Grid Finder as well. So man, just a great resource for the community over at Grid Finder. As we get ready to go at green flag racing here in a moment, 1 minute 37 seconds left on the clock here. And let's start by, what are we going to start with here? We're going to take a look here at where we're at qualifying wise, and that is Jared Taylor on top of the board, 30.062, with Ryan Bean, Cole K. Thomas, Ryan Petty, and Clayton Graves, Matthew Rush, James right there, Jimmy there as well, Dustin Stallings, Scott Taylor, Casey, all up there in the top 10 as well. Hello, Mr. Texas in chat. Hello, Aaron, and hello, Jamie in chat as well. As we got about 54 seconds remaining here tonight of qualifying here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. As we get ready to go racing here tonight, what's going to be interesting, this update, they really did play around with the track conditions, and the groove actually will kind of move around now a lot more than previous weeks. It's going to be interesting to see all night where everybody lines up and how everything works out. Hey Aaron in chat, how are you? As we get ready to go racing here tonight, 100 and I believe 35 laps, if I'm not mistaken, here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway here tonight as we get ready to go green. And we'll get ready to fire them off here, get them gridded up, get them rolling here tonight. Checkered flag is in the air, and we're ready to go racing here in Xtreme Iracing series on Xtreme Sim TV. Let's take a look at your pace car here tonight. For number 1, Jared Taylor and Ryan Bean right there in row 1, row 2, Cole K. Thomas and Ryan there in 4th. Starting 5th tonight, Clayton Graves, Rusty right there in 6th, Matthew in 7th, James 8th, Jimmy 9th, Dustin Stallings in 10th, 11th Scott Taylor, Casey back there in 12th, 13th Matthew Fleming, Patrick Hernandez 14th, 15th Robert Fitzpatrick Jr., Andrew Little 16th, rolling 17th is Calvin Ruff, Jordan Stencil back there 18th, 19th Michael Jennings, 20th Harold Ruth, 21st Terry Collect, J.R. Miller 22nd, David Hall 23rd, Matt Merck 24th, Philip 25th, Michael 26th, Kevin Dowd 27th, Kevin there 28th, 29th Robert Fitzpatrick Sr., Garrett Freeman 30th, and David Royal rounds out this 31 car field here tonight. So with 31 cars lined up ready to go here from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway, 130 laps. I was up by 5 laps on what we're running. So we're running 130 laps here tonight. Expected to be pack
Hey, Matt.
racing early on, and
Matt,
we'll transfer
you in
over
there?
to something else. You got me? Hello. Alright, somebody invaded the booth there. We got that fixed, but we're going to get ready to go racing here tonight. 135 laps here. That is the schedule for the NASCAR Xtreme Iracing Series here on Xtreme Sim TV. Let's get ready to roll. 135 on the board. You see them double file right now, Jared, out front. Everybody else going to line up in a line, getting ready to go here for 30 laps here tonight. Getting ready to go. Green flag racing behind that iRacing pace car. Here we go. As we get ready to go, everybody hanging on up front. Terry there as well. Casey, Clayton, Robert Fitzpatrick Sr. Everybody getting ready to rock and roll here. Green flag will fly here in just a moment as the field works their way out of turn number 3 and 4. Looking at Kevin Dowland right there. Michael Jennings, Harold, Rusty, David Hall in the mix here tonight. Bunch of beautiful race cars out there. Patrick Hernandez, taking a look at him right there as well. But as we come out of turns 3 and 4.
Green, green, green.
And here we go. Green flag in the air. We are underway here at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Everybody up to speed already. Green flag in the air and rolling up in front. It's going to be Jared Kaler leading, holding that inside line. Cole Thomas right there top side. He's got help with the 30. That is Ryan. Big shove down the back straightaway. They'll have the momentum, and they will get into Jared's back bumper. Nearly contact there as they went into 3 and 4 to 66 there of Cole Thomas. Luckily checked up, gave Ryan enough room to hold on to that machine. That could have been big there as they went into the corner, and caution already out. And we got a mess right here on the front straightaway. 17 collected. Let's go take a look at what happened. First yellow of the night. So early on here at Vegas, and the first caution of the evening is going to fly. And let's take a look at what actually happened to bring this yellow out. If we can determine who lost the car first and all that fun stuff. 31 cars here tonight. You see smoke up in front of the 75. And oof, right into the 18's door of Scott Taylor. And you see all that smoke. It's hard to see. One more look at it here. We'll look at it maybe from Scott Taylor's point of view. See where the accident actually occurred. You've seen the aftermath there. Taylor's up the racetrack, tagged to 31. Car comes around, 3 nowhere to go. And look at Calvin right there as well. That's rough getting collected. And then poor the 75, nowhere to go. The 17, the 25, the 32. The 48 just coming to a stop here. Let's right on board with Robert Fitzpatrick Sr. as he basically just came to a stop to avoid all the carnage in front of him. And with this update, iRacing has updated the smoke, and you can just see, you really can't see anything for the density of the smoke there. And look at him dodge, weave, trying to get through the 21s around here. He's just going to come to a stop. He's like, you know what, the safest thing to do is bring the car to a stop, let the smoke clear, and then get back out there and get after it. That's exactly what he did. Very smart play by Robert Fitzpatrick Sr. to get through that. A lot of cars collected, at least 5, 6, 7 cars now the eye count involved in this very early wreck here at the Vegas Motor Speedway. Robert Fitzpatrick Jr. not as lucky as Senior. Of course, he was involved. Let's see if we can tell what happened. Let's, yeah, he was on pit road. Now there's the 3 of Robert Fitzpatrick Jr. Nothing he could do. He got wrapped up in it. Senior was able to stop. Junior ends up wrecked on the top lane. He's going to be multiple laps down here. He had to tow that race car. And when you have to tow here, pretty much puts an end to it here as we continue to roll with Jared Kaler out in front. 4 of 130 complete here tonight from the Vegas Motor Speedway. 125 left. Very early incident here tonight as we see the iRacing sedan out front of the leader Jared Kaler right now. The lights are off and we'll wait on it. There we go. We'll get ready for a restart. Kaler, Ryan Bean, Cole Thomas, Ryan and Clayton Cravens, and Matthew all in that top 6 for this restart, with 5 in the books of 130 here tonight. Here we go. Everybody single file out once again, or double file out once again here for a restart behind the iRacing pace car here tonight at Las Vegas Motor Speedway for yet another restart here for the Xtreme Iracing Series. This is round number 3 for the Xtreme Iracing Series here on Xtreme Sim TV. We opened up at Daytona 2 weeks ago. Then they went to the iRacing Super Speedway last week. Now we roll our way into the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Rusty there as well. Dustin Stallings there in the 93. Jimmy, Casey, everybody involved getting ready to go back to green once again.
Green, green, green.
Green, here we go. Back underway once again. Everybody back going. Jared Kaler out front. Brings them back to green. Ryan there in second. Lap number 6 of this 130 lap scheduled event. Behind them, Ryan and Cole Thomas. Clayton Craves, Matthew Rush as well. Rusty hanging on side by side. Double file up front. They'll get single file. There's the 6 and the 11 of Clayton and Rusty going at it. Rusty clear. The 11 drops back. Dustin Stahl in there in the 93. Here comes the 38 of James. And Casey right there in 10th as well. 11th Jimmy right now. And that 110 up the racetrack of Jimmy was able to hang on, but he got really high down there in 1 and 2. Gathered that car back up. Was able to keep it straight here as we run right now through turns 3 and 4 up there. Matthew trying to work his way forward. Rusty. Cole Thomas alongside in the 66 of that 30 of Ryan. He'll make the move to the bottom. Now my question, as Cole gets loose. Big checkup on the inside lane, but my question I was about to say was, will that outside groove come in tonight? And I kind of think it will as this race rolls on at Vegas. They did some work with rubber build-up and things of that nature on iRacing with this build. There's the 110 of Jimmy Harold there. Before this build, you would see a racetrack mainly be one groove racing. And contact again there as we're going to see J.R. Miller up the racetrack. But we've seen this one groove state of racing and iRacing for probably the past 2 months, 3 months, to maybe even a year. But now with this update, I think as this race wears on, especially with the amount of cars we got out there laying that rubber down, that this groove may actually begin to move up the racetrack. And actually, we're seeing it already. Look right there. Car going by on the outside. That's the believe that was the 93, and Cole Thomas starting to slide back a little bit, but people starting at least down in 1 and 2 to experiment with that high side. And Jared Kaler better look in his rearview mirror because he's got Ryan Beam there. Now, which lane does Ryan pick? This is going to be telling to which lane Ryan picks here 11 laps into the run. Because not only do we have to look for that outside line to come in, we've got to look at when does it come in. When into the run can you start making ground on the high side versus the bottom? Right? And I am of the belief that we will have the two-groove racetrack at some point here tonight. There is the all-tail number 28 of Ryan Bean right there in second. Bean hanging on. Rusty there in fourth. Dustin Stallings, Clayton Craves, Cole K. Thomas. 12 laps complete this time by. So 12, 13 on the board of 130 here tonight. Jeremy Stitt, Jordan Stencil, Harold, and Jimmy. J.R. Miller, Phillip there as well. As we hang on down the back straightaway, 14 on the board this time by. The 14 on the board here. There is the 88 machine, the 112, Calvin Ruff, along with David Hall. They're in the 21 Liberty Mutual or Liberty Insurance machine. Robert Fitzpatrick, David Royal, Michael Jeans. They're in the 4. Michael Jennings. They're in the 4. Andrew back here as well. A lot of these cars single file. We're going to go ahead and get back up towards the front of the field here. It's Jared Kaler still holding off Ryan Bean in second right now. The 30 Kellogg's machine in that third spot of Ryan. And Rusty running fourth right now. 15 of 130 laps complete here. Right behind them, Dustin Stalling, Clayton Craves, Cole K. Thomas. You see the 38 James hanging in there, Matthew there as well. See Matthew there in the 11 machine. Patrick Hernandez hanging on, Jordan Stencil in the 15. Harold there also. Great run for Harold though in the 1 up to 12th with 16 laps on the board. Harold, great run. Running that medium to high line, and you start seeing it, folks. I'm telling you, that high line is not going to be a bad place to be here in another 10 to 15 laps. You're already starting to see it come in just a little bit. And guys going up there, and look at that. 3 cars right there to the top. Now watch what happens. You're going to get the advantage coming off the corner, running up there. The bottom's a shorter way around. The bottom's shorter the way around, but that high side really comes in and gives you the momentum to hold that position, especially if you're defending it, right? If you're just defending, going to that high side is not a bad idea. And again, up front, 3 cars nose to tail. And Kaler, I have not seen him really leave the bottom yet in that 58. I'm assuming he's going to here pretty soon. On board there with Kaler, looking back at Ryan Bean, who is right there on his back bumper right now. But Kaler pretty committed to the bottom, so is Bean. Those guys, the car's staying under them just enough. They're actually up about, though, a half to a full lane to the middle groove with those two. And now battle for the race lead. Here comes Bean. Now can Kaler hold him off? On the top, Bean slides up. And that's what we're talking about. Kaler going to hold the momentum. Can he hold the race lead down the front straightaway? Kaler noses out in the 58, and that's exactly what we talked about. He was able to hold the momentum to keep Bean back there. Now, how long can he hold the fight? He's going to get clear And before, we would not have seen that. You would have seen Bean just get on by Kaler there, but with this two-groove racing deal and this tires and everything going on and how much rubber is getting laid down, well, you start to see two grooves be a thing. And here tonight with 21 on the board, we're already starting to see his tires wear. It's a combination of factors: tire wear, rubber on the racetrack, heat in the racetrack. All these things play a factor on where you can get this car to the most grip throughout the run. You see back here in the back, Harold is completely up high. He's running the extreme high line up by the wall. No surprise there. J.R. Miller with Phillip right there behind him in 16th. Both those cars again up next to the wall. The 32 nose on that machine completely destroyed. David Royal back here in the 14. We got a couple of cars out. Scott Taylor, Terry, and Robert Fitzpatrick Sr. Jr. All three of those machines out of this event. We started with 31. We're down to 28 right now. Just past lap 22 of this event. Taylor leads, Bean in second. Rusty in fourth. Ryan in third. In the 30, you can see Ryan there alongside that lap car there. But like we said, that high side was able to hold off Ryan Bean for that race lead when Bean went under Kaler. So, it proved its point. It's proved its worth early as we continue to run 24 on the board this time by. Casey right here in the midst of a battle with J.R. Miller. A couple of cars right in the mix here. Let's hop on board. Casey as he hops underneath the 110 of Jimmy. Now Jimmy's got to be careful. Listen to the throttle, guys. I can't hear it, but you can. And you're going to be listening for him feathering that throttle any and all. He was able to get clear, so he made the move on the bottom, made it stick. Jimmy wasn't able to put up a fight there for that battle. But again, I think this is going to be very car dependent on if you can run that high side or not. And if you can, it's a very good defensive maneuver to run that top side, because we've seen it with Kaler out front. Bean made that move, went to the bottom, couldn't complete it. And ever since then, Kaler's been able to hold that race lead pretty easily right now. I tell you what, lap time fall off here, it's going to be pretty big. Right now we're running 31.4s. Best lap of the race, almost a 30 even. So about a second and 4/10 off their fastest laps of the race, respectively, up front. So we're definitely seeing the fall off and the tire wear and the track and all the stuff that we expected to see. It's going to make this a good race here tonight for these 29 drivers that's left out there. Back through the field, we got a little bit of another battle here. Miller and Jimmy going at it. Hernandez right there holding on in the 19. Right there underneath the 27. And that 27 is one lap down. The first car one lap down on the racetrack right now. Andrew Little would be the next car that would go a lap down, assuming he does. He's 21 seconds back right now. There's Little in the 68 coming off of 4. Here comes Kaler into 3. Little's got to be watching that rearview mirror and kind of hoping here for a little bit of a caution to catch a break here. Matthew right in the 11, right behind Clayton Craves. Rusty gonna lose a spot maybe to Cole. Cole to the bottom, Rusty top side, Rusty again. Big momentum down the back straightaway. He's gonna just about get back clear and hold that position. Rusty able to hold off Cole K. Thomas. for that fourth and fifth position. So this has definitely been a great race so far over the first 30 laps of this event. Great side-by-side racing. Rusty actually topside again. As to the bottom, Cole K. Thomas goes looking for another way around. Can't do it. How long will these guys go on tires? Fuel, you can go a bit further here, but after 30 laps, you're looking at 1.5, 1.6 seconds off what your fastest was. So you're definitely going to have to get tires here in the not too distant future. You don't want to stay out there too long. Does Jared Kaler or Ryan Bean, either of these guys up front. See that side-by-side battle back in the pack between Rusty and K. Thomas. Once again, that's fourth and fifth on your screen right now. And looks like Thomas getting by Rusty. So Rusty going to concede the spot. Now it's Clayton Cravens and Mr. James and Patrick Hernandez back here as well. So everybody fighting through here. 32 for the 130 scheduled here tonight from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. And everybody hanging on, doing a wonderful job right now. 33 on the board this time by. So with 33 on the board, everybody doing a great job, keeping it clean, keeping it steady. And I've got to say, pretty impressed here with how well they're running here tonight at Las Vegas. New update, changed some things around, but these guys quick to adapt to it and hang on. That is exactly what they're doing. And oh man, down the back straightaway, 33 on the board this time by. Complete this time, 33. And we're just going to continue to rock and roll this thing out. And we got a car to pit road, so we're going to start seeing cars coming down. There we go, one car down. That is Rusty. Lap 34 put Rusty on pit road. Jared Kaler pit road as well. Lap number 33. David Royal. So we're going to see Cole Thomas probably come in pretty quick here just in a moment. Cole K. Thomas in the 66 pit road. And nice and easy does it. So Thomas down pit road. James stays out an extra lap. Patrick Hernandez right there in the 19 as well. Matthew Fleming, Phillip right here in the 8. We'll be looking for pit road this time. Phillip still needing to come down. Royal, David Hall. Taking a look at David Hall there in the 21 machine. Liberty University machine still needs to come down. Look at Phil on the apron. Phil really early down on the apron. Good entry for Phil, getting out of the way. Everybody going to rock it by here. As with 36 of the 130 complete. James out front now. And it's your top 5. Robert Fitzpatrick Sr., the last car on the lead lap, who has not pitted as of yet. We'll see if we'll see Robert Fitzpatrick Sr. to pit road this time by. Of course, the night for Junior did not go as planned. Tight up there with David Hall. You seen it got really tight. There goes Fitzpatrick Jr. to pit road. Miller's still out there. Stencil's still out there, along with Hall. You saw it get really, really close there with Hall there for the moment as new tires came by him. Nearly an incident. They were able to hang on, though, and keep that from happening as we circle through the first 38 laps of this race. So 38 of 130 complete here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Folks, we're going to go crank it up here as we cycle through the first round of green flag pit stops here from Las Vegas. forgot to turn the limiter back on. That was my fault. We'll get the limiter back on. But as we were saying, Jared Taylor out front. 30 to 88 there as well. Ryan and Ryan going at it. Look at this battle for second. And third, Cole Thomas back here. A lot of lap down traffic in the mix. There is Cole Thomas in that number 66 machine. Towards halfway in this race. Clayton Cravens up there as well. 61 laps complete. Calvin Rupp, J.R. Miller, Jimmy, Jordan Stenzel, Harold, Dustin Stallings right here in the mix. Dustin running that top side in that Ford Mustang up by the wall. Great run by him tonight. David Hall, Clayton right there coming through. Jared Taylor, race leader, getting ready to put more cars one lap down. David Hall would be the next vehicle. He would put one lap down. He is just up in front of him, 53 of 139. 53 of 130 laps complete tonight. Tonight's coverage of NASCAR Xtreme Iracing Series on Xtreme Sim TV. 53 of 130 complete. Bottom here, 4 on the board this time by. 54 of 130 complete here tonight. Hanging on right around the bottom. Five on board with 5 to 130. Richard Taylor out front. Still leading here. Ryan Bean in second. Taylor up there in that University of Charlotte in the 58 hanging on. Charlotte right now out front. And we turn the lap. It's this time bomb. Now is Ryan Bean in second. A. Thomas, Matthew, James right here in the 38, running 6. Patrick A. Mendez, Casey, Calvin there as well in the Goodyear tire, number 112. J.R. Miller hanging on also. Hanging on 56 feet. Go back here, look at Jordan, Jimmy, and Harold all in the top 14. David Hall, last car on the lead lap. Robert Fitzpatrick Sr., first car 1 lap down. Of course, Junior involved in the incident early. Taylor will come around to put 58 on the board. Alright folks, as we get ready to take lap 59 of this race, as some of you may remember back October the 1st, there was a tragic event at Las Vegas with the shooting happened there with the hotel room, everything that was involved. Tragic day, we lost 59 people that day, and one person that was on scene on there was Clayton. In honor of the 59 that we lost that day, going to go mute here for lap 59, and we're going to ride on board that beautiful 13 with the Vegas skyline paint in honor here of the 59 that we lost on that tragic day. So as we get ready to go, we're going to hop on board, get the 13. back here with you. Oh, wow. As we get ready to go once again, got to get back in the racing mood here as we continue to run 61 laps on the board here tonight at Las Vegas Motor Speedway. I'm still on board with Clayton Cravens right there. Casey there as well as we fight our way through 61 of these 130 laps complete here tonight. Right now, 61 complete of the 130. Right now, at right up front, it is Jared Taylor. Has led mostly every lap here tonight. Taylor still leads right now. Man, oh man, Taylor is doing a wonderful job here tonight. Taylor holding the race lead right now in that number 58 machine. Just going to fall in the line throughout the field right now. A bit of a battle here between Clayton Craves, J.R. Miller right there in front of him. Up on the halfway point of this event here tonight, and coming up on another round of pit stops as well here in the very near future. We've been on a long green flag run here. We had an early caution that brought the yellow out. Ever since then, it's been green. Miller working his way through lap traffic might give Cravens an opportunity to jump on it and try to get by the 78 up in front of him. Alvin Ruff right there in the 112 to 15, and Ruff to pit road as we speak. 29 on the board, he's to pit road, Bean to pit road. Bean's going to short pit this car, trying to get in front of Kaler on these fresher tires. 65 on the board this time by. You believe it right now as we continue to run. Kaler out front, Ryan there as well, Cole Thomas hanging on also. Man, oh man, these guys putting on a show here. 65 laps completed the 130 here tonight. 65 of the 130 in the books. Cars still up to speed right now. And as everybody fights through here, the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 66 on the board at the moment. And let's see up front, Cole Thomas there. Now your race leader is Clayton has came to pit road as well. Denzel back here in the 15 machine has not pitted. You see Jordan Kaler on pit road. Kaler right there. Now let's see where Kaler comes out in relation to Bean. Here comes the 28 of Bean. Down the front straightaway. Jared Kaler right here. Not going to pass him. He's not going to make up enough to get by that UNC Charlotte machine. So Bean now right behind him though. See Bean coming there in the all-tail number 28. He short-pitted him, but not by enough to really make much of a difference. The lead's going to try to kind of settle back out to where it was. Kaler will come back to the race lead when all this cycles through. There's Stencil there in the 15 machine with David Hall running fourth right now in the Liberty University machine that still needs to come to pit road. So some cars out front that can run a bit longer here. I guarantee you they're hoping for a caution. That's the only strategy here that's going to save you when you stay out like this. Is maybe get a caution and trap some of these guys one lap down. That would be the ideal behind it, but I don't see that panning out tonight. We've been green for so long tonight. Had this green flag feel for the last little bit and continuing to do so. Yep, Tex, I'm thinking Kaler again too, man. He's playing the right strategy. I think it's all going to work out for him. He's going to hold on out front. Keep that thing in the front of the pack. I think that's where we're kind of setting here with 70 on the board this time by. And I tell you what, Kaler putting a great start to this season in this number 58 Charlotte UNC machine. Or, excuse me, UNC Charlotte machine. Said that backwards. Out in front of the field with 70 of 130 laps complete here tonight. Of 130 in the books here for the Xtreme Iracing series here on Xtreme Sim TV. And these guys continue to run. Ooh, Kaler really getting around that 48 at a high rate of speed. That's Fitzpatrick Sr. He had to jump around. Did a good job to get around him cleanly, I gotta say. Hopefully this will bring it up on this screen. Possibly it does. And we take a look here as we head to Rockingham Speedway next week. Then off to Atlanta and Bristol here in 2 weeks on April the 5th. We don't have another bye week until May the 31st here is when our next bye week will be for this series. Keep this in mind, this is a long run for these guys. They're running from now to basically May without an off week. Of course, Rockingham, 130 laps at Rockingham next week, and 130 at Atlanta, and then 250 as we head off to Bristol, and 200 at Martinsville. We got some longer races coming up here for the NASCAR Xtreme Iracing Series on Xtreme Sim TV. J.R. Miller, your current leader, as he comes to pit road. That'll hand the lead back over to Kaler after 73 laps are completed in this race. We got a little bit of battle here. That is Calvin Ruff and Casey there in the 31 machine that's right there behind him, working under the lap car of Senior right now. Great move underneath of him for these two to battle for 10th and 11th on the racetrack, hot and heavy after 73 laps. Pencil back here in that machine. Another battle, one lap down, is going to be Dustin Stallings and Matthew Fleming up there in front of him. There goes the 13 to the bottom of the racetrack, working his way through. But Kaler leads here. And Tex, I think you're right, being 2.7 back and falling. And he's actually, Ryan Petty there in the 30 is gaining on him pretty quickly, I might say. No surprise there that Ryan is kind of coming alive a little bit here. Great deal for him here tonight. Yeah, Reese, you're dead on, dude. Yeah, and you know, can you really be surprised? I mean, and what does this do for this league that they are seeing Jared Kaler out front dominating at a 1.5 mile racetrack when you've got all these 1.5 mile tracks on the schedule? Does that scare the league a little bit? I mean, you got to think, you know, Kaler out front doing what he's doing, putting on a show and doing a good job of it. I just think that got to get your attention. Man, oh man. As we continue to run right now, Calvin Ruff was on top of the points by 1 point here on coming into tonight. I think that's going to switch out when we go into next week. I do believe it will kind of switch places, let's put it that way, as we take a look at where is Calvin Ruff on the racetrack here right now. Where is the number 4? Well, I can find him for you, Reese, here in just a moment. I don't think I've touched on him in quite a while. Let's go touch on him. That number 4 machine. Michael Jennings, well, he's going to be 25th. Reese, he's not having the best run here tonight in that number 4 machine, not having the night he wanted. And he's kind of right now 5 laps down to your race leader. And it's not the night that the 4 wanted at all here at Vegas. And again, 10 cars now on the lead lap. J.R. Miller, first car 1 lap down. As you see, Kaler right in front of him right now. That just put Miller a lap down. So Miller a lap down here in that number 78 machine. Looking around the racetrack right now. A little bit of a battle brewing here between Bean. And actually Ryan in the 30 has gotten by Bean. So that Kellogg's machine moved him to second. Interesting there how that panned out. The 11 of Matthew trying to gain on Cole K. Thomas for the 4th spot. James, Patrick Hernandez, everybody just right here. Casey and Calvin going at it. There's the 48 of Senior, a little bit of fresher tires. Trying to make something work. Let's see, where is Robert Fitzpatrick Senior? He is going to be 19th, 1 lap down. He's trying to catch Dustin Stallings for position. Stallings there in the number 93 Ford Mustang. That's the car he's trying to catch for position here. Casey right here in the 31 continuing to battle. Calvin there in the 112. That is on the lead lap in a battle for position. That would be interesting. Casey trying to get 9th away from Calvin if he can get there. So it's been very impressive here tonight. We've kept it mean and green virtually all evening long here for the first 82 laps of this race. And folks, we're going to go crank it up one more time here tonight from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. All right, back here in the booth with you as we put 89 in the books of the 130 here tonight. We look around the racetrack there. Ryan has moved to second, but he is going to be 3.7 seconds off your race leader of Mr. Jared Kaler, who leads the way here tonight. Taylor with a pretty good lead here with 90 laps complete here in the NASCAR Xtreme Iracing Series. And man, these guys are doing just a wonderful job right now. With Jared Kaler up front, 91 on the board. 91 at 130 complete here tonight from Las Vegas Motor Speedway. .91 and 130 complete. Kaler out front. He's up in front of Ryan by about 3 seconds. Battle on the racetrack right now, 0.8 of a second. Separates Matthew and James there. See those guys out there. Patrick Hernandez runs 7th. Hernandez hanging on to that top 10 position in the 19 Interstate Batteries machine. AC there in a J.R. Miller in 9th. And then Calvin Ruff inside the top 10 as well. That's the way they set right now with 93 on the board at 130 here tonight. 93 on the board at 130. Jordan Stencil, Jimmy back here, and David Hall there as well. Or single file, 94 on the board this time by. 94 this time by. Everybody hanging on. Jared Kaler out front, leading right now in that number 90 58 machine. Leads the way. Outside of him, the number 1 machine, 1 lap down. That is Mr. Harold. Actually, he's 3 laps down. Sorry about that. 3 laps down, not 1. You've got Mr. James there in that 38. Having a pretty good run. Nice run here tonight as well. Well inside the top 10. Matthew Brush right there in front of him. Cole Thomas right there also just hanging out there in that Chevrolet Camaro inside the top 4. I don't think anybody's got... Well, I take that back. Ryan here in the 30 Kellogg's machine, he is closing the gap on Kaler a little bit at a time. It is now 2.866 seconds. Last time by, he beat him by a 10th. Now, when we come to pit stops here, who is going to be the pit road first in this front of the field? And right now, we set and everything kind of working out. About 35 to go, so you got to run a little bit longer to get yourself in the fuel mileage window. But the 30, does he come down before your race leader and try to take advantage again? Ooh, the 13 on the apron there, and the 30 in the outside wall. That was just a mistake there. 13 was below him on a bit fresher tires. Waiting right now on fresher tires, and that pushed the 30 up the fence. And all that ground that he made up, well, he lost it. Now he's on pit road, slides the tires a bit. But a pretty good entry there for the Kellogg's Cheez-It machine. Taylor still on the racetrack. Taylor continuing to run right now. Ryan being 4 seconds back in the 28 Alltel machine. When does he hit pit road? This is going to be interesting. This could be the final pit stop of the night if we don't see a caution. There goes Bean to pit road. Taylor stays out. But Kaler running a bit longer here than I figured that he would. Roughly when they started pit road cycles, he had about a 3-second lead, or 2.8 second lead. Did Kaler? Let's see how much they make up. Taylor comes this time by. He does. Nice smooth entry for the race leader of Mr. Jared Kaler. Now, look here. 31 on pit road. Hernandez pit road. Hernandez coming back off of pit road. There is the 30. Now, the real question is, where is the 30 going to come out in relation to Jared? And does the 30 have a clean enough track here? Cycle through 99 of 130 complete here tonight. We're in the middle of the final green flag pit stops of the evening. Here comes the 30 of Ryan. Going to be close here. Again, when they started down the pit road cycle, it was about a 2-second gap. Here comes Ryan. There is Jared. He's going to get by him here with the momentum. And that'll be a lead change. Great move by the lap traffic for the 30 of Ryan to get in front of Jordan Kaler. Now when everybody cycles through, that will give Ryan the race lead. Jordan Kaler, for the first time in a long time, not going to be your race leader. He'll stay in tow with Ryan. 101 on the board this time by. Taylor just stayed on a lap too long, in my opinion. That costed him the race lead. But there's a but to that. You know, Kaler has a fast race car. The question is, can he get back by the 30 machine of Ryan Pettit, who is right in front of him? And that lap traffic going to play a toll here. Kellogg's 30 machine pulling ahead of lap traffic in between now. Kaler and the race leader. And they're too wide. This is not helping Kaler at all. Tire strategy could be his downfall here tonight. He'll get by the 31. It's going to be kind of tight, but he'll get to the bottom. Kaler inside the 58. He'll get by, actually rough as well. Move himself now behind the race leader of Ryan. Coming up on what would be 25 to go. Now lap traffic in front of Ryan. He's got to negotiate his way through. Great racing at the front of the field, closing stages at Las Vegas for the NASCAR Xtreme Iracing Series. 103 on the board, this time by at Vegas. So 103 on the board this time by. Here we go. It'll be very interesting how this ends here tonight with 103 laps on the board. So 103 on the board. How does it cycle out? And this is going to be very interesting. And oh man, Boot is going to come away with the win. It's a 0.2 of a second gap now between Kaler and Ryan at the front of this field. These two by far is the two dominant cars on track. They've got a 7-second lead over everyone else. Kaler drawing a bead on the back bumper of Ryan. Ryan's going to have to run hard here if he's going to keep Kaler at bay. Here comes Kaler on board with him. Down to the final 25 laps here at the Vegas Motor Speedway. Kaler and Pat Ryan up front. We're going 06 on the board this time by. Kaler all the back to the back bumper of Ryan there. Ryan held his line. Did very good keeping Kaler back there for now. Cannot make a mistake here. Oh boy, this is going to get dicey. Kaler to the bottom, Ryan up the racetrack. Kaler looking for running room. Ryan's going to have to pinch him down here in 1 and 2. That's the only shot he's got. Maybe an attempt to side draft that we've seen at Daytona and Talladega. If that'll work here, giving him too much room, he's got to come down. Kaler about clear. Run down the back. There goes the side draft attempt from the 30. Not really going to work here. Side by side into 4. Taylor's going to pull out ahead here by a nose. Now fender, now clear. Crossover attempt. Big move to the bottom. Almost into the grass. Goes Ryan. He'll draw back even now. He's got to drive that car in deep. Don't let Kaler pinch him down. Contact. Taylor up the racetrack. Ryan really lifted there. Gave Kaler a break. Now Kaler desperately trying to break whatever draft he can. And he will be clear here at Las Vegas. Man, oh man, what a battle. But Kaler going to come out in front of Ryan here. Ryan gave up a fight right there. 109 on the board. They nearly ended up in the grass there as they battled. But Kaler going to end up getting the better of it right now. Pulling away. Meanwhile, we got another race on our hands. That is Clayton Craves there behind Patrick Hernandez. 7th and 8th positions on the racetrack going at it. A great race for the lead there. Kaler getting back ahead now. 0.5 of a second gap for Jared Kaler. Hernandez hanging on right here as well. 110 of 130 complete here tonight. Up front, Jared Taylor leads. They're in the green 58 machine. 20 laps to go from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Here for the NASCAR Xtreme Iracing Series. Taylor out front by 0.8 of a second right now. Battle right here between the 38 and 66. Battling right here for 5th and 6th. And there goes the 38 of James to the top side of Cole Thomas. He'll move his way into the top 5. Great pass there by that 38 of James. Once we got it settled down early here, we went green the rest of the way here tonight. Continuing to stay green right now. Taylor out front now, 1.6 is the gap. Ryan Bean actually third, 6 seconds back. James right here on the back bumper, the 11 here. That's a battle for 4th and 5th on the racetrack right now with 19 to go. It was a very good pass there that we saw for that race lead. But Kaler able to get back around and back out front. Really no surprise here that Kaler's this good. There's the 11 top side of the 38. Move and possible, hang on. 38 going to get clear here into the corner. Battle between Calvin Ruff and J.R. Miller here as ongoing as well. That is before 10th and 9th position on the racetrack as well. So we're down to the final 17 here tonight from the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. 16 to go this time by. Laps to go this time by. To go here this evening. $16 laps to go here tonight. Jared Kaler out front, hanging on. Right now it's 1.8 seconds the gap. 15 laps to go this time by. These guys doing a wonderful job right now. $15 to go. Kaler, Ryan, Bean right there as well. James, Matthew, Cole K. Thomas right there in the 66 also. And caution. Everything changes. Yellow flag on the racetrack. And we're under yellow here tonight. And that is the number one good wrench machine of Harold going around. We'll go take a look at what happened. So with 14 to go, we got yet again another restart here tonight. It looks like a wheel malfunction on the one. Tries to get down and right in front of the 88. Fleming nowhere to go. And caution is out with 14 laps to go. So that one brings the yellow out here, 14 to go. To go. The one smoke pouring out the rear of that machine. Taylor leads. Everybody back under caution once again here tonight. Taylor leads the way. He'll come down 4 fresh tires and fuel. Ryan down as well in the Bean and the All-Tail machine, along with the 30 of Petty. And 4 fresh tires, I guess, on all these machines here tonight. Late race caution, the only second yellow of the evening. Taylor gets ahead here with the race lead. Exactly what he needed to do here tonight in the UNC Charlotte machine. He'll pull out ahead with what will be 13 laps to go. Folks, I'm going to take a quick break out of the booth. When we come back, we'll be back for the restart and finish here at the Charlotte or at the Vegas Motor Speedway. Alrighty, restart, getting ready to come once again. It is Taylor, Ryan up front. Behind them, you're going to have Bean, Matthew, and James. Your top 5 here for this restart here was what'll be a 10-lap dash to the end here tonight. Here we go. Restart NASCAR Xtreme Iracing Series is green. 10 to go at Las Vegas. Hey, what a great start right now. He'll jump out ahead of Ryan behind him. Everybody up the green once again. Bean there as well. There's Bean in the 29 all-tail machine. The 11 right there in the mix as well. The 66 of Cole Thomas. Going to be inside on the bottom also of the 38. James, he is underneath trying to pick up a spot here as they roll through turns 3 and 4, getting back up to speed. 9-lap dash to the end here from Las Vegas. 9 laps to go here. Taylor and Ryan out front. Taylor pulling away, Bean there in third in the all-tail machine. Courtney outside wall, about 2 or 3 cars back. That is the 19, and Patrick Hernandez Miller going to go through. And a lot of cars getting by there as he got in the outside wall. And we got 14 cars now on the lead lap. It's David Hall, the last car on the lead lap right now. Eight laps to go, and Ryan Bean moves to second. And the all-tail machine moving to P2. Falling back is Eddie and James right there underneath them. That 30 dropping like a stone. That Kellogg's Cheez-It machine dropping back. Here goes James by him. Cole Thomas going to jump to the inside as well. 7 laps to go. Looks like late in the going. That car going away from him here. Really late in the going, but somebody that the car does not went away from is Ryan Bean. He is closing on Jared Kaler right now. Now, we saw this same battle earlier in the evening. Bean got underneath Kaler. Kaler was able to hold him off. Now, with 6 laps to go, Kaler's going to have to do it all over again and hold Bean off for another 6 laps here tonight at Vegas. Nose to tail into 1 and 2. Bean may have got a little bit of aero tight there, but he'll be halfway down the back this time. Single file right now. File, 5 laps to go.
The yellow flag is out.
Yellow is out once again. Trying to figure out what to caution it for. Is it the 30? Oh no. A great run for Ryan is going to Ryan in the 30. He is around. What happened here? What in the world happened here? Man, just a great run that's going to go awry here. Contact, and around he goes. The 11 swept up in it. That beautiful 13 car of Clayton Cravens into the wall as well with 5 laps to go. One more look at it. There's a little bit of contact between the two. Come halfway down the back, they get in the line into 3 and 4. Just gets him a little bit loose there, then the contact. Oh man, the 11 gets collected, nothing he could do about it. Clayton ends up hard into the outside wall, so caution out, 4 to go. Kaler leads. Taylor will lead here, late race restart coming up here for Jared Kaler. Let's talk to the driver, Jared Kaler, out in front of this field right now. Man, oh man. Grab him up in. There he is, Taylor. There he is, baby, out. Go with Bean, find him. Hey Ryan, Matt up here in the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Going pretty good, man. What are you gonna have to do to get up there and get by Jared Kaler there on this green white checkered?
Oh man, I have no clue. I really wish that caution had come out. I'd like for it to just be one-on-one, but I think this is gonna be super fun. I don't want to give him the bumper, but if I got to, I'll try to give it to him as light as I can, not hurt him too much. But I think that's gonna be the way to do it.
Well, man, best of luck on this restart in that all-tail machine. The 3 laps to go, a green white checkered shootout, buddy.
Thank you. Have a good one.
See you, my friend. All right, folks, I'll be right back in the booth in one moment.
Green flag, green flag.
Alrighty, folks, sorry about that. The mic was not working, but it's Kaler out front with 1 lap to go. Ryan Bean in a second as well. Bean trying to close the gap on Kaler. Not going to be enough. He led all night here tonight. And it's Jared Kaler coming out of turn 4, coming to the checkered flag. Bean to the bottom, but Kaler gets it done here tonight at the Las Vegas Motor Speedway. Kaler, another victory here this evening. Great job for Jared Kaler there in the 58 machine. getting her done here tonight. Your winner at Las Vegas here in the NASCAR Xtreme Series. Great job by Kaylor. Hey, Jared Kaylor, you got a copy of it, buddy? Try it again. Hey, Jared, it's Matt in the booth. Got a copy?
Yeah, can you hear me?
Yeah, I got you, buddy. Great win here tonight, my man.
Thank you. It was definitely stressful there at the end with that green, white checkered restart.
Yeah, man, what was you thinking when you seen that yellow come out and you're like, oh, no.
Yeah, I was hoping it was gonna go green, and then that yellow came out. I'm like, oh man. And then I heard them all in the comms saying they were wrecking again. I'm like, just get to the white flag this time. Get to the white flag. And fortunately, we got to the white flag and able to race it out.
We'll win number 2 on the season, man, and this should bump you to the points leader here tonight.
Yeah, hopefully it does. I mean, it's been a pretty strong season. I think all top 10s. So hopefully keep this momentum rolling to next week.
Alrighty, man. Well, again, congratulations. Anybody like to thank?
Thank you and Philip and everyone for putting this on and broadcasting it. It's been a lot of fun.
Kevin Foreman, well, great job, Jared. Congratulations on the win.
Thank you.
Alrighty, folks. I got to try to hustle here. We got Ryan Bean. Hey, Ryan, this Matt up here in the booth. Get a copy?
Yes, sir. How's it going?
Well, Meg, you come up just a little bit short here tonight, man.
Yeah, it was a little rough that whole race. Got hit by a lap car in the second stint, and I'm just happy to finish second again. Good race to Jared. It just keeps killing me every time, and I'll get him one of these days, I think. But I think I gave a little too much respect on the last restart. Probably should have roughed him up a little bit, but at the end of the day, he was quicker all day, so he was always meant to win this race.
Well, man, great racing up near the front, coming home with a P2 finish here tonight.
Yeah, I'll take it. That was after the middle stints I had there. I'll gladly take second. It was a good race all around. Love racing with these guys. Can't wait for next week.
Yeah, and for everybody, well, congratulations. P2 here tonight, Ryan.
Hey, have a good night.
Alrighty, folks, and we got one more we'll try to get in here. Kind of in a short run time. That's Cole Thomas coming home with third. See if we can grab Cole Thomas down here. Hey, Cole Thomas, Matt up here to the booth. Got a copy?
Yes, sir.
Alrighty, P3 here tonight. Good run, buddy.
Thank you.
Well, what was you thinking there? That yellow come out that last restart. Did you think you had anything for them up front?
Well, I mean, I knew I had some for them, but I needed that caution, so it helped me quite a bit. I messed up on the pit stop, though, slid through the box, but I was able to gain it back through traffic.
Well, man, a great job. Great run here tonight, by the way, and congratulations on a P3 finish.
Thank you.
All right, I'll see you next week.
I think you got lucky, though, Matt.
Yeah, he kind of did. But I'll see you next week, buddy.
All right, see you.
Alrighty, everybody, we're going to get on out of here, and I'll see y'all next week.